This is episode number 229 of the Homeowner Show. Well, whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Greg Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're so glad you could join us for another episode here in the studio. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Today's a good day. Every day's a good day.
Uh-huh.
But I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm fine.
You're fine.
Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Life is good. The weather outside is phenomenal.
Dude, the weather today was fantastic.
I'm so happy about all of that.
I think I got to be in it maybe an hour today, and that was about it.
Like, part of the thing that I love about it right now is that it gets down into like the high 40s, low 50s, and in the daytime it's like 70.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like so good.
In the middle of the afternoon today, I think it was like 66 degrees.
Yeah,
And I was
so
loving
nice.
it.
It was so nice. But anyway, I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, man. Like we just got back from a trip that you've taken
Okay.
to the Kalahari Resort.
Oh, dude.
So
So we did that it was just like last August for my daughter's 10th birthday.
right.
So we've been pretty recently, yeah. So
Have you just went the once?
yeah, well, we've been to Great Wolf Lodge, which is a similar experience,
Right.
only it's like a completely different theme.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's not as big. Like Kalahari is a lot larger, and it covers more real estate. And
It does cover more real estate.
There's more stuff. It's the one that we were in was in Waco, that area.
The Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah, no, the Kalahari.
Well, it's Round Roc.
Round Roc, okay.
Yeah.
Round Roc, yeah. So it was in that Austin area, and it was a lot newer than the Great Wolf Lodge we'd been
I think
to.
it's less than 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's still got the shine on it. So
For sure.
we loved it. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to compare it to Great Wolf Lodge, yeah, it's bigger than Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
There were some of the rides at Great Wolf Lodge I like better than I do at Kalahari.
Okay.
I just thought they were a little more exciting.
Okay.
But I mean, there's more rides at Kalahari, and the rides there are plenty exciting for like little kids.
Right.
Well,
let's take a step back. Like, some of these listeners may be like, "What are you talking about?" So
Oh,
we should
well,
probably tell people what it is.
So if you don't know, I think there are 4 Kalahari resorts now.
Okay, I know there's one up in Ohio, and there's the one in Round Roc, and if there are others than that, I'm not aware. But
Yeah,
I'm sure there are more.
And they're privately owned.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's the
interesting.
Roberts family that owns them. And the whole point of these things is to help raise money to dig wells for water in Africa.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole. They're trying to fund their projects over there.
Yep.
And so it's kind of a passion project of theirs. So that makes it kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's a giant indoor water park.
Huge.
And when I say giant, I mean like massively huge indoor. I mean like it probably covers at least 5 or 6 acres indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
Um,
It's huge.
Yeah, and parts of it even go outside. They even have they have outdoor pools there. We didn't get to use any of them because they were all closed because it's cold outside.
It's cold, yeah.
Except for the outdoor hot tub,
Oh, okay.
which was
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like they have a massive wave pool. There's a big restaurant in the middle.
Yep.
There's like a kids' jungle gym that has one of those giant buckets that dumps water on people. And there's just a ton of rides.
Yeah, like so for some people are probably listening to this going, indoor water park, whatever, like it can't be that big. Like there are, if I remember correctly, there are 4-person water slides.
Yes.
And
There are 4 of those, yeah.
like another 4 or 5 2-person water slides.
There's 6 2-person water slides.
Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single-person rides.
Yeah. That has nothing
Slides. That's just slides.
That's just slides. So then they got a massive, like 2 different kiddie areas, and one of them is like a small kid area, and one's like a toddler area that's like super shallow, and like moms hang out and chat. Then they got that really cool hot tub area that's like outdoor, but it's massive. They've got one area that's just like a bunch of basketball goals. Yeah. And then they've got
my kids loved that.
Oh yeah, I did too. and then they have a lazy river.
Yep. And then the surfing
Oh yeah,
surfing pool,
right?
Where you can like actually ride a wave on a boogie board or a surfboard.
Exactly.
And like there's lifeguards there that'll help you learn how to do tricks and spins and all kinds of, it was, I mean, like that was the big attraction for my son in particular. I mean, he stood in line for like 3 hours.
Yeah, you got to stay in line for a long time.
Like 3 hours in total because he rode it like 5 or 6 times.
Sure.
It was his favorite thing.
Yeah.
And so like you have all that, and then before you even get in the water park, there's a massive arcade.
Dude.
And I say arcade, like me and you, we grew up with arcades, and it was like actual games.
Yep.
These are all like ticket games.
Yeah.
Like every single, I think there was like maybe 6 like actual like games.
Right.
But most of them are like, you know,
spend your money and
put the
win a
ball
prize
in the jar, or you know, like whatever. All the games are there to get you tickets,
right?
So that you can trade the tickets in for prizes.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese.
It's
only on a. It's like okay. It's like Chuck E. Cheese, only more like Dave and Buster's, but on another level from Dave and Buster's.
And then around all of, so like that area is called like the tomfoolery area. Yeah. And so like there's all the arcade games, but then there's other stuff that you can, they have like a bowling alley in there. There's a 3-story ropes course. There's a laser tag.
Climbing wall.
The rock, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of rock walls that you can climb, and all of those are 3 stories,
right?
And then there's a 4D or is 5D, 5D theater experience where like you actually shoot the monsters on the screen,
right?
There's a maze of mirrors. There's
That's crazy.
So did you guys get like the tomfoolery package?
No, we didn't, because we were only there for one night.
Okay.
But we got there when they open. So it's also a hotel, right?
Yeah.
So they've got a huge, massive hotel. And they've got multiple restaurants as well, all this so if you stay a night, let's say you stayed Friday night, when the water park opens on Friday, which is 11 typically, then you can get in at that time. And then you spend the night on Friday night, and then you get the rest of the next day as well. So you really get 2 days if you stay one night.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And so we really didn't feel like we had enough time to do all of it. And frankly, we had already spent all our money. So, I mean, it is not a cheap place. And different times are different prices. But in August, the beginning of August, which is when we went, it was, like, for the family of 4 for us, I mean, we spent right around $1,000.
Okay.
I mean, and we were and that's before we ate. That's before we did anything else. That was to go to the water park and spend the night. And so we were kind of like, this was a birthday gift for my daughter. We were like, it's about all we're going to do. So we didn't do any of the extra stuff. My kids wanted to, and I really contemplated it because it all looked a lot of fun to me.
It was.
But we decided not to. Next time, we probably will.
So, I mean, we did. We were there for 2 nights.
Okay.
3 days. And that was, for the time that we were there, that was totally worth it.
No. Yeah.
Because it gave us the ability to say no to the dumb games, the video games,
right?
And be like, hey, let's go on the ropes course together, or hey, let's go shoot each other in laser tag, or hey, let's climb this rock wall, or like stuff that you can actually do together. Yeah, that's not pushing buttons.
And it broke up the water park, I would assume, because
for sure. Yeah.
I mean now. Again,
and I forgot this. There's actually an indoor roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
And like one of those drop towers. Now it's not a huge roller coaster.
But it's there.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it because I'm big.
Yeah.
And it's for small.
Right.
But I rode it with my kids because they wanted me to.
Sure.
It's a neat. I mean, like my youngest loved it.
Yeah.
And like my older 2, they rode it twice. Because it was there. And they had fun. Yeah. So like for us, that was totally worth it. We spent most of our time on the ropes course. Ropes. It's got 2 zip lines, and then just all these different obstacles to get from place to place. Yeah. And we played a lot of laser tag. And the laser tag course, it's not the best laser tag course I've ever been on, but it's a pretty good one.
Not the worst.
And then they have other stuff that you can pay for. Like they have 2 escape rooms, the bowling alley. That's not part of that package, but all that stuff is there.
And then they've also got things like a Build-A-Bear type of place.
They do have that, yeah.
And they've got like an ice cream place, and they've got different places like that. But then I mean, like, they've got multiple restaurants.
Yeah, so there's a steakhouse, there's an Italian restaurant, there's a burger place, and then there's a couple of like fast service places. There, and there's like a fast service place in the water park.
Right. And then there's a piano bar.
There is a piano bar, yeah.
And I was thinking there may be one of them. Anyway, did y'all eat there at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
We did bring food with us, but we decided that we were going to eat dinner there.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up getting snacks and things like that. So before we went, we read quite a bit, and there were a lot of reviews that was like, hey, the food's not really all that great.
Yeah.
And they weren't wrong. Right. But they made it out to sound like it was bad.
I thought it was decent.
And it was decent.
I mean, for water park food.
You're talking about in the park?
Yeah. I mean, all of it, in my opinion, was decent.
Yeah, we got a pizza in there, and it was pretty good. Yeah. They had loaded fries in there, and those were good. But we ate at the burger place for dinner that night, and it was pretty good. It wasn't like,
I think I told you about that place.
You did,
and it was fine.
Yeah,
like I was like, this is a decent hamburger.
No, nobody had anything that they didn't like. Sure.
Although in the water park they have unlimited Slurpees.
So yeah, you can do that. My son has like a food dye allergy.
Oh, I knew that.
And we try and stay away from sugar as much as possible.
Right.
And so it was like, man, we can pay the $18, but there's like nothing on there we want him to have.
Right.
And he's fine with drinking water.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Yeah.
Just drank water.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like that is true. There's like an elephant cup that you get for like $18, and it's like unlimited refills. Right. And it's like, but we did get a couple of smoothies in the park.
Okay.
There's a smoothie cart. And those were actually really good.
Yeah. They got Dippin' Dots there too.
They do, and then they have like a Bluebell chocolate place.
Yeah, we did that, and one of the reasons is because they had birthday cake, which is my favorite Bluebell.
Oh, okay.
I don't like birthday cake really anything else, like other types of ice cream, but that one specifically is my favorite Bluebell.
Yeah,
they had it, so I was like, let's do this. We literally just got ice cream. Like, we didn't do extra toppings. We didn't do the waffle cones. We didn't do anything else. And for 4 people, it was $30.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it.
And I hated myself inside a little bit.
I think I bought a peanut butter cup there. Like, it was like a...
Yeah, I bet. Oh, yeah, they had chocolate there. Like a chocolate
Yeah,
place.
That's what I want. I was like, man, I want to get a peanut butter. I think it was like $8 for the peanut butter cup.
Yeah, they had like cake pops and
I think literally it was like 2 Reese's peanut butter cups that they'd smushed together and then poured chocolate over the top.
Sure.
And I was like,
they got me.
This is a rip.
And it was delicious.
It was good.
Yeah, I think that I think that a lot of people, they go in having certain expectations of food whenever they pay a certain amount for it.
Yeah.
And I think there's also some people like us who've been a little bit spoiled by going to Disney and eating food there, because I think the food at Disney is pretty good for what you get.
I mean, I've had similar experiences at Disney where it's like, it's just decent.
Yeah. And again,
it depends on where you go eat.
Exactly. Yeah. And those of us who've been there multiple times, we kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
So
sometimes that has more to do with convenience than it does like
all the time.
Convenience and calories.
That's exactly right. And I'm hungry. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I mentioned to you before you went is I said one of the things I found interesting about Kalahari, as opposed to Great Wolf Lodge, is I felt like when I was in Great Wolf Lodge, I was like, I suffocated a little bit inside because I was like, there's so much chlorine, it's just like everywhere, but it's salt water at Kalahari.
Not all of it.
Well, a majority of it is.
So I don't know if things have changed, but by day 3, I was burning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I could definitely and I didn't notice it the first day, but by day 3, I was like, there's definitely chlorine there. I mean, and the easiest way to tell is my youngest, her hair turns green.
Oh, wow.
And so I know that there's chlorine in there. So,
but did you feel like the inside was like overly like humid and like awful?
It is right as you walk in.
Okay.
You kind of hit that wall of humidity.
Yeah.
But then once you're in there, it actually feels nice.
Yeah, it does.
But like so you're coming from that giant room that's kind of cold.
Yes.
And so if you walk through there in your bathing suit, which you have to do. So you're already kind of chilly. And when you go into that room, you literally hit a wall.
Yeah.
And you're like, ugh. But then once you're in it, you're like, oh.
All right,
it's because I'm like my body then like, acclimates to the what's going on. And it's like, oh, this actually smells kind of nice.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Did you feel a little weird walking through tomfoolery area being like, hey guys, I'm in my swimsuit. I'm walking to, I don't know if I guess I'm going to have to get a locker because I got all this stuff with me. Or it's like, nope, proud to be here. Don't have any shoes on because I don't want to get a locker. And so I'm like, what were y'all's steps here?
Well, we tend to be a little more trusting. So like we never got a locker. We kind of claimed a table and just left our stuff there.
Okay.
I mean, like if they stole the one credit card in my bag, like have fun,
right?
Because like none of that I'm gonna have to pay for,
right?
I'm not being like, what's the word? I'm not being like negligent or anything. It's just like I put one credit card in my bag just in case.
Sure.
And
a lot of their stuff there is touchless. So like,
all you need
if you have a watch that's cellular, you're even better because then you got really everything you need.
Yeah. So I will say you have to have. This is the thing that blew my mind. Like you have to have an armband to get in your room, to get in the park, and all that kind of stuff. And you can attach a credit card to that,
right,
to your room,
right.
And so we just use that.
Yeah.
But if you lose that thing, it's like $50.
I know,
to replace it.
It's crazy.
So anyway, we don't need to spend the whole show talking on it. I do want to just kind of give a brief review. So like slides, great.
Yeah.
Park, great. Oh, the grotto. You probably didn't get to go in the grotto.
No, we didn't.
So that's amazing.
Is it?
Yes. Like my wife and I are like, okay, like we kind of want to come back here just us, so we can hang out there.
Yeah.
It's basically.
I peeked in. I needed to look.
You needed to look.
Yeah.
So the water temperature is much higher than it is.
Oh, okay.
In all the other pools, and it's basically a massive swim up bar.
Yeah.
It's bigger than most swimming pools that your friends have, but there's like tables and like roundabout lounges.
Nice.
And then a massive bar, and there's an indoor one and an outdoor one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
There were a number of bars, like even down, like when you
there's
walk into the foyer, there's the one straight below that.
Yeah.
And it was never busy.
No.
It was completely empty most of the time.
It's called like the Broken Coconut or something like that.
You're right.
Yeah. Cool. And like that was the other thing. Everything in there is like it just looks nice. It's decorated really well. We were in a 2-bedroom suite.
Okay.
Which was really nice.
I bet.
2 bathrooms.
Nice.
And fit everybody super comfortably. So there was only one bad thing that happened while we were there. There's a slide in the water park called the Tanzanian Twister, which is a body slide.
Right.
And it throws you basically into a toilet drain.
Yeah.
That spins you around and then dumps you out into a 9-foot pool.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
When my wife came through, she smacked her head really, really hard.
Oh, no.
And I had gone before her, and so I was waiting for her and my other 2 kids to come out.
You couldn't warn her.
What? No, I'd already done it.
Okay.
But I had just gone first so that I could be there to help the kids out, and she was going to come behind them. And I could tell as soon as she came up out of the water that something wasn't right. And I could see her mouthing to the lifeguard who was helping her get out of the pool. I hit my head, and I didn't like it didn't click with me later on. But like the lifeguard turned around to the other lifeguard who was up on the deck. And he turned around and he tapped the back of his head. And I was like, oh, this is something that happens quite a bit.
Again.
Yeah. Like they have like
they have a sign.
Yeah. And so as soon as she was up out of the water, like they were trying to be helpful. Like, hey, do you want to go see our medical team?
Right.
And she was like, no, I think I'm okay. But like even yesterday, her head was still hurting.
Jeez.
And she was just concerned she'd gotten a concussion.
Yeah.
Because she said when she hit the water, she was like, I didn't know which way was up. I didn't know if I was going to black out. So I mean, like it shoots you out really fast.
Yeah.
And so when she came out, that's when she smacked her head.
Well, and that, if I remember correctly, that's the one where it like dumps you into like a 9 or maybe an 11-foot pool.
It's a 9-foot
9-foot pool.
Yeah.
I mean, because when it dumps you, it dumps you.
Yeah.
And you need that 9 feet.
You do.
I mean, I'm sure nobody gets to the bottom unless you're a big boy. No. But still, like, you're probably 6 feet down at least. Like, they're probably only giving you a few feet there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was really the only downside. I mean, everything, I mean, like, the staff was nice. The rooms were nice. The park was fun. I mean, like, just a really overall good experience.
Yeah. Cool.
So, anyway.
Nice.
But,
well, we've talked about that for a while.
Yeah.
But
so
that's
anyway,
not what we're here today.
Yeah, what we're here to talk about. I got a cool new toy.
Yeah.
Called the Grill Rescue.
Oh yeah, I've seen, like, they've done a really good job of marketing on Facebook specifically.
Yeah.
So I've seen this thing multiple times, and whenever you messaged me that you got one, I was like, all right, here we go. I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah. Someone gave it to me as a present.
Okay.
And it's really cool. I didn't know the story behind it. It's invented by a fireman.
Okay.
Who wanted a safe way to clean grills.
Okay. Meaning there's unsafe ways to clean grills.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also didn't know that this was like a Kickstarter.
Oh, I didn't either.
And apparently it's like one of the most successful Kickstarters ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So he invented this thing, and the whole point was, one, he wanted a safer way to clean your grill without starting a fire. He's a fireman.
Yeah.
But also, most people tend to use wire brushes on their grills.
Sure.
And that can be really unsafe, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, and so, like, I've watched some slow motion videos now of people using wire brushes on their grills. And I'm like, holy crap, I must have eaten
a lot
wire bristles at some point in my life.
Probably. And
just didn't realize it. Because, I mean, like, you watch the slow motion video and, like, there's wire bristles just flying off the thing.
Yeah.
And so this is not a wire brush.
Right.
So anyway, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot to it.
Right.
I wanted to do an episode on it just because, like, it's so simple and it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you use something like this instead of that wire brush? I think most people have the idea that, like, because it's a wire brush, it's going to be more effective.
It's cleaning something a little more harshly. Therefore, it's getting it more clean.
Well, I mean, like, and if you're using a wire brush, one of two things is happening. You're either knocking those bristles off onto your grill,
right,
or you're scoring the grill,
right,
and knocking metal off of that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just the whole thing that happens when you put metal against metal.
Right,
metal's coming off somewhere.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of these grills are built with some sort of not necessarily a non-stick coat, but it's got some sort of a coating on there that helps with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, if you notice, like, a lot of people's grills, they open it up, it's like, oh, this thing's rusting.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I wonder why. It's probably because you scraped all the stuff off that kept it from rusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
unless it's cast iron, in which case that just happens.
It does.
Yeah.
So you can fix that.
You can. Yeah. I'm going to turn that off. That's kind of noisy.
But we need the air conditioner.
I know. So anyway, it's
pull it out, man. Let's look at it.
So we got this beauty right here, and, like, let's see if I can take this thing off. I may not be able to.
Oh man,
I'm not a proficient.
You haven't mastered the skill.
I haven't mastered it yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a handle, and then this snaps on. I've got to figure out how these snaps work. It's gonna bug me.
So I was looking at it earlier, and the thing that's amazing to me is how substantial.
Oh, it's heavy duty.
I mean, it is not, like, when I look at it, like in the commercials and those sorts of things, I look at it and I'm like, this thing is just a plastic thing.
Yeah,
that's all it is. And when I picked it up, like,
first chink in the armor is taking this stupid thing off. Jeez Louise.
Well, I guess it's on there.
Yeah,
which is interesting because one of the things that they kind of talk about is that it's dishwasher safe.
It is.
So, like, you can put the thing in the dishwasher.
I'm gonna have to hand this thing to Kevin.
But
I'm tired of it humiliating me.
You really can't get it off.
Good Lord. You try this thing.
I don't know how you put it on, so...
It just snaps in there.
It just snaps in there. Do you have to do them both at the same time?
Maybe.
Nope. I don't know.
I mean, I'm glad it's like secure.
Maybe. Yep, that thing's on there, Craig.
That is on there.
That is on there.
So anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Jeez. I mean, I don't think it's on like backwards or anything. I think it goes on. I'm looking at the other one. So here it is. I mean, like that's the piece because this is the extra one. It's shaped the same on both sides, so it can go on either way.
Yeah. We're gonna need to get your dad on this.
I guess so.
Your dad's
someone with man hands.
Behemoth. He can. Yeah.
I'm like gonna break something in the studio.
Like your fingernail.
Be the first thing to go. I'll get it off later.
Yeah, for real.
Jeez.
But right. It holds together well. Let's say that.
Yeah, let's give it its due. It's tough. Anyway, the way this thing works, because like you watch all these videos of guys using like scrapers and brushes and all this kind of stuff. What you're supposed to do, it's a 3-step process.
Okay.
Right? So you heat the grill up to a minimum of 400 degrees.
Okay.
And then when it reaches that temperature, you turn the heat off, you dunk this thing in water, and then you go to work on the grill. And it uses steam to clean the grill.
Okay.
And that's it. And it's that simple.
It's brilliant.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so like that steam helps release all that gunk.
Right.
Rather than scraping it off along with any other coatings or anything like that. And so you actually get the grill clean.
So I don't know. Those of you who grill often probably already preheat your grill before you clean it because you've realized that is the most efficient time to clean something is whenever it's hot. So my question is, because like let's say we would just grilled some burgers. There's always some burger residue left on the grates.
Some jus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that a good time to clean with this thing?
I would think so.
I would think so too.
Yeah, I think that would be the best time.
I would think so too. Now, everybody thinks, I'm going to get my burgers off and eat them immediately. Like, let your meat rest. It's fine.
Yeah.
And
just go ahead and clean it.
Go ahead and clean it. It's already hot.
Yeah.
It's going to be ready for you to go next time.
And all you have to do is just dunk it in water.
Man, that's simple.
I mean,
that's so simple.
I mean, they say it's best to have like a little bowl of water next to the grill, but they say you can also just run it under a faucet.
Which is what most people will probably
I would imagine that's what most people
But I would think that the reason that you would want that bowl is because...
you're going to have to go back for more.
Yeah. And you can just kind of, press down it because it's like a sponge.
I mean, it is, but it's not. I mean, it's like it's tougher, thicker material. Because like one of the things that they say, and like, again, I just got it, haven't run it, put it through its paces yet. But they say you can buy replacement heads for this thing, but they say like they should last for years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like the branding on it is the world's safest grill brush.
Okay.
Which, I mean, again, makes sense. It's not going to start a fire and it's not going to leave little metal pieces in for you to cook in your steak next time.
Yeah.
Like once I saw that, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done using the wire brush.
Right.
Like that just grosses me out. I feel like I'm going to like get little metal pinholes in my intestines.
Probably will.
So,
yeah. Yeah, I think when I looked at it the first time, I was like, that's just a piece of plastic with some fabric on it.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah, but whenever I picked it up, I'm like, is heavy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's not some hollow piece of plastic. Like that thing is, you're not going to break it.
Mm-mm.
And yeah,
you could whoop your kids with that.
Oh, yeah, you could. They would not do it again.
Nope.
I'll tell you that. Well, I'm interested. I think I might have to get one.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear from people listening. I'm like, do you use a wire brush?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever considered that as like a safety thing for your food or for your grilling? And would something like this interest you?
Well, and I'm guessing part of the reason. So, I mean, surely wire brushes aren't the devil or anything. But what happens is someone buys one
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, this is the same grill brush I've been using since 1976.
Well, yeah,
I
I think there is a certain aspect of that to it where like it's like, well, I bought one and I don't want to have to replace it.
Right.
So you keep using the same one, and so like you just get it, whittled down.
Right.
I mean, I have one like that.
Sure. I mean, and I think a lot of people do. And so in over time, especially if it stays outside, like most things do, like this, it's what's going to happen. I love the fact that the head is replaceable on it. Because if you
and that it comes with an extra one.
Yeah, if you can get it off. But like,
that's right.
but I mean, seriously, I mean, that's one of those things. Like for me now, like spending. So I'm looking over and it's like $45. So you look at that and go, $45 for a grill brush. But A, safer.
Yep.
B, environmentally friendly. C, it's going
no
for
metal shards in your food.
Right, and it's going for a good cause. Like a percentage of the proceeds go to fire, police, and military funds. Yeah. So like that's a good thing. But you can just replace the head on it. Like it's
I don't know how much the replacements are. I can't imagine they're too much.
I don't either, but like it's not a one and done. And so like to me, that in and of itself, they're $15.
That's nothing.
I mean, you're gonna spend at least that much on a new grill,
a new wire
brush. Yeah, and then it's gonna have the same problem. So
yeah. So anyway, I'm excited about firing up my grill and cleaning it.
I'm excited for you to do that too. When do you want to cook for me?
Y'all, I think Kevin's gotten 2 pictures of me making fried rice on that Blackstone.
Oh, I have.
So I'm actually curious if this will work on the Blackstone.
Well, why wouldn't it?
I don't have any reason to doubt that it will.
Yeah.
I'm just because like all the videos and images I've seen of it are great.
Yeah,
cleaning a grate.
Sure.
I would imagine it's the same principle on a flat top.
I don't know why not.
So
I mean, the only thing I think you might have some issue with is just water pooling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going to evaporate, really.
Well, what happens on a flat top is if you use water a lot of times to release the gunk.
Mm-hmm.
But like on a grate, if you release the gunk, which is what you're doing with this, I mean, you're essentially using steam to clean the grate, and that gunk has the chance to fall through.
Right.
On a flat top,
it doesn't.
It just evaporates the water and then it sticks back to the top.
Sure.
So you usually have to have some sort of scraper.
Sure.
To get that stuff off of there.
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know that there's, unless you just want to have like a second like soppy wet rag to like mop it up with.
Right.
You're gonna have to have some sort of scraper.
Yeah.
So, and it's not even really to like scrape it off. Like the Blackstone has that little hole at the back that you can push all your gunk.
Okay.
To get it off.
Nice.
And it has like a little tray.
It's not bad.
Catches everything. So
yeah. Cool.
Might be the only. I don't advocate for a brush on that.
No,
but
they have stuff that they
made
make for their grill.
Yep.
Use that.
Yep. And it's very effective.
Right.
So, but I'll still try this.
Yeah.
See if it works.
For sure.
So
can't hurt anything.
Cool, man. Anything else?
No, man, I think that's it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and downloading today's episode. We're here each and every Tuesday. Looking forward to a great new year here with all of you. If you haven't already, you don't want to miss an episode. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.